So if I'm being 100% honest, I do not care if it's an odd number. I am not waiting another year just to make this video, just so I can put an even number in the title. I want to talk about some Ed, Edd N Eddy because earlier this morning I saw on Twitter that today was apparently Ed, Edd N Eddy's 19th anniversary. And on the off chance that you don't know what this show is, why are you here? Go watch the show. Actually, wait. I do want views, so continue watching this video first, then go watch Ed, Edd N Eddy. Anyways, this show brings back so many memories, I don't know where to even begin with them. I do know what I am going to begin with, though, and that is an introduction. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? This is your boy Prodigy back at it again with another video on the channel. Today, we'll be remembering a show that we all grew up with, Ed, Edd N Eddy. So today, I'm here, joined by 3 other people. You can already hear one of their background noise. Go ahead.
What's going on, my fellow residents? It's me, the Frozen Cameron, and today I am here with, as stated before, ProdigyxCD and 2 other people to talk a lot about Ed, Edd N Eddy.
What's up, everybody? Oh shit. Hi, I'm Winky, and I almost just spilled freaking iced tea all over my computer. I make Overwatch videos, and I'm one of the hosts of this freaking podcast. I'm gonna have to clean this shit up while Nick does his intro. What's up, bro?
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up? My name's Nick. I do music and shit on the internet and post it for people to listen to.
Yeah.
And then you go to sleep.
Very interesting. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about Ed, Edd N Eddy, as I stated before. Today is the 19th anniversary of Ed, Edd N Eddy, or tomorrow, whatever time frame this video is uploaded in.
Or yesterday, you mean?
Shut up, Kill.
I said, you're right, I did say tomorrow. Yesterday, shut up. Fuck you. Anyways, we're going to be talking about some Ed, Edd N Eddy today. We actually just got done watching the big picture show, the Ed, Edd N Eddy movie, which was the finale of the series. I really enjoyed the movie. We all sat here in a call watching it, and it really opened my eyes to how good this show was. And we're going to talk about a bunch of things. We're going to talk about whether the show should be rebooting, which I don't think it should. Quick answer. But we're going to be talking about stuff like that. We're going to be talking about the greatness of this show and just our memories with it in general. So would anyone like to start us off?
Yeah, I actually would. So Mike's bed. I can't control that background. Boo. So
You're
this
fine,
is
dude.
all I can do. When I was younger, there was where I came from, Grand Cayman, I can say that now. When I was younger, a hurricane hit us. It was Hurricane Ivan, and that shit hit us hard, and we were stuck with nothing. You know, our no electricity. When we got electricity, there was no cable, so I couldn't watch anything as a kid. But my dad was lucky enough to get a DVD player, and the only cartoon I had was Courage, the Cowardly Dog, and Ed, Edd N Eddy. And I had the first 2 seasons of Ed, Edd N Eddy on a box set that I got for my birthday. And I just remember watching the first season so many times. Ed, Edd N Eddy was one of those cartoons that as I grew older, I didn't fall out of. It was always every year I would have myself watching Ed, Edd N Eddy. And as I got older, it never, there's a point where certain cartoons were oh, that's a kiddie thing, or oh, this is old. I didn't remember it being that good. But ever since I was a kid, that thing it's just great. It hasn't aged. It's one of those cartoons that hasn't aged poorly. It hasn't even aged at all, actually. It's still relatable nowadays.
I don't think it aged poorly at all. It's still very easy to go back to. I remember saying that when we first started the movie, I was like, wow, I still manage to be just as entertained watching the show now, maybe even more entertained now that I understand everything and I have more insight on animation and how shows are produced and stuff. And is this more entertaining now or just as entertaining as it was when I was a kid? And I feel like that's something that's really amazing because a lot of shows that I grew up with, I'm not able to go back to as easily, like Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends, if I remember the title correctly. I tried going back to that show. It's still very entertaining, but it's definitely not as entertaining as it was when I was a kid. As I was growing up watching cartoons, I grew up with a lot of Cartoon Network cartoons. I didn't watch too many Nickelodeon cartoons. I had the Invader Zims, the Mighty Bees. I remember that show being pretty bad. I remember watching it.
I mean, I like Mighty Bees. Mighty Bees wasn't that bad.
I didn't like it that much. It was one of those shows. This is what I remember. I remember it being one of those shows where it was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and watch it until SpongeBob or Invader Zim came on or something else that I probably can't remember. I didn't watch Disney shows that much at all. I grew up with Disney. I grew up with their movies, as I feel like everyone did, but I didn't grow up with a lot of their cartoons whatsoever. The main thing I would always go back to, my main thing I would go to watch was Cartoon Network cartoons like the Codename Kids Next Door, Foster Home of Imaginary Friends, Flapjack, Camp Lazlo. My gym partner's a monkey. Ed, Edd N Eddy, which is the topic of this video, 19th anniversary. Like, it's wild.
Here's a fun fact, real quick. Apparently, my parents say that I was scared to death of KND.
KND? I don't think
Kids
that
Next
sounds
Door.
familiar. Kids Next. Oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah, it's just.
I've never heard someone refer to it as that.
Anytime that show came on, I was like, "No, turn it off! Turn it off!"
Why?
Turn it off!
What scared you about Codename Kids Next Door?
I think it might have been #1 being bald. That's the only thing.
The bald boy's scary.
I'm not gonna lie. He does look pretty weird when you look back at it.
He's tough, bro. He's scary.
He looks adorable. I mean, what are you talking about? He's cute.
I remember Ed, Edd N Eddy that I also have is like I remember playing this one Cartoon Network game. I think it's still actually up on the Cartoon Network website. They took off a lot of like the old games. I know Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon took off all of their games pretty much like from the past. Like you have to do some scavenger hunts like to find those games
Just
from
go on
Nickelodeon.
y8.com and you'll find it.
I mean,
Well, I'll definitely look into that after this video. But there was this one Jawbreaker game. And I used to play on Cartoon Network where you would have to like build these pipes or something and put the Jawbreaker in like some can.
I remember that shit.
But
dude, cartoons had some of the best games like growing up, like online and stuff.
There were some
like
Teen Titans
Flash cartoons where games were getting like popular. Like they had a lot of good games.
Like in 2006, when World of Warcraft went popular, they freaking made like an entire Cartoon Network MMORPG that we can still play now.
Fusion Fall.
Yeah.
I never played Fusion Fall.
I never got to.
It always looked cool. It always looked really cool. But like I remember, I was an avid console gamer at the time. And I was like, I would never touch a fucking PC for gaming, even if it would kill me. But then Minecraft came around and all that happened. If you've been around for a while, you know about that phase. You know about that phase. Me, Nick, and Caleb went to. It was the good days, toxic days, way more toxic than things.
I mean, I disagree. No, I disagree. I disagree.
Nah,
I disagree a lot.
Nah, dude. You guys disagree that those days weren't toxic, dude? All those.
I mean, I didn't really pay attention. So
do you know how many people? I'm talking about like me, Caleb, and Nick specifically, like in the communities we were in. Do you know how many people ended up freaking hating me from that community?
No, yeah, well, okay, but like compared to like modern.
Okay, being a YouTuber in that community, being a YouTuber, I'll say.
Nowadays, it was bad. Back then, it was good.
Yeah, back in the day.
I wouldn't even say that. Like there was fun moments. There were some fun moments. But it was like, damn, it was it was toxic. Like, it was toxic quite a bit. There was a lot of toxic things going on.
I mean, if we didn't do any Minecraft shit, we wouldn't have met now. So
anyways.
I wouldn't have met Caleb. I probably would have met Nick still. But
if I didn't play Minecraft, then I wouldn't have met either of you.
Back to Ed, Edd N Eddy. You're right. Actually, I did meet everyone off of Minecraft. Back to Ed, Edd N Eddy though. I do want to ask Caleb because he was pointing out some interesting things earlier about like music and Ed, Edd N Eddy because I was talking about that and Caleb like gave me some information I thought was pretty interesting. So go ahead.
All right. In terms of the production of Ed, Edd N Eddy, like. When you're a kid, you don't see anything of that. You just know that it could be funny with the random, and it's pretty because of the flashy. When you go back, and I honestly believe that everyone should go back to watch this show. The writing's clever as hell, and music cues in the show was amazing. If you realize it, and you just sit there and watch and pay attention, the music always matches the tone of the story. You don't even need like dialogue. You can just have the music and the visuals, and you'll be able to tell the entire story. Like honestly,
for real. No, yeah.
Second of all,
yeah.
Every character has a certain theme or a certain instrument to their name.
The main three, anyways.
Yeah, the main three have certain instruments. Every other character has a type of theme. So, an example, Ed has a tuba. Anytime he's talking, there's a tuba in the background. That's like dominant. Ed, Double D, he has a saxophone playing. Eddie has trumpets playing. Rolf has like, you know, this polka going on. Kevin has this like not sinister tone, but like a tough guy, like do 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 like that type shit. Like the bass dominates for that. There's like certain song themes in every single Ed, Edd N Eddy character, and like it's just so much to appreciate out the show. Like during the whole big picture movie thing, like the whole big picture when we were watching it just a couple 30 minutes ago, because this shit takes a long time to, you know, get ready. We were talking about how the animation didn't, like, it was completely traditional. They didn't move to Flash when Flash was popular, because that movie was made in 2010. That movie was aired in 2010.
2009.
Did
I ask you?
We don't be giving people false information.
Yeah, Caleb.
2009. It was near 2010. It was December of 2009. Around there. Or summer.
Maybe you guys, maybe one of you should look it up and
Regardless,
like.
you between 2009 to 2010.
Yeah, around.
Yeah, so Caleb was wrong. He's wrong.
I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Shut up.
Anyways, like, you could just tell that Ed, Edd N Eddy had a lot of craft and love into the show. Because out of every show that Cartoon Network was airing to us back then, like Chowder, Flapjack, Billy and Mandy, Kids Next Door, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, list goes on. I didn't see a show that had that much love and craft in Ed, Edd N Eddy. Because like it stayed in traditional hand-drawn animation. Every character had a charm about them. Like, you couldn't hate any character. When I was younger, I hated Sarah. Now coming back, it's just too funny to have Sarah without. It's just a shame to not have Sarah in an episode, right?
For real. Yeah, for real.
Because the motive of Ed, Edd N Eddy, Danny, that's his name. I don't want to pronounce his last name because it's like an Italian name and I don't want to butcher it. But I watched a lot of interviews of Danny because he was my like inspiration to make cartoons when I was younger. Kind of my inspiration now still. He said that he was not writing a kid's cartoon. He was writing a cartoon for himself, right? And I feel like there might be a problem with today's cartoons from that somewhat, you know? Not like anyone, not the cartoons on Cartoon Network, other than Teen Titans Go, arguably. A lot of the shows aren't made for the main writer, you know? The creator makes the shows for themselves, and if they make the show for themselves, the kid show is usually better. That's how like Invader Zim, Billy and Mandy, all those like old Cartoon Network shows and old Nickelodeon shows stays true, and all of us like get nostalgia and like, oh, we want to go back and watch those. It's because most of the writers stick to 10. They wrote it for themselves. They made the show for themselves. They didn't care about the kids. They didn't care about the money. They made it for them. You know, they made it for their own enjoyment, which I think that Ed, Edd N Eddy solves perfectly. It does it perfectly. And I'm just going to do something real quick.
Well, to elaborate on what he said, like with the writers and all that, basically just doing whatever they wanted instead of like for kids or whatever, that allows them to be more, well, to do more of whatever they want instead of like suiting their cartoon more for kids, because a lot of cartoons do that now. Because if you were to look at like pre-2010 and like 90s cartoons, they got away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, the joke of like taking a sextant to the gag factory, you can't get away with that stuff now.
Yeah.
The like one of the most notorious Ed, Edd N Eddy scenes I remember was when you found tissues, lotion, and a chick magazine underneath Eddie's bed.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
Ed's. I think
Ed's bed. I think Ed brought it over, and Eddie just had the lotion and
the tissues
already there because he, you know, he already had like Babe magazines from his brother, and then he looked through the chick magazine. It was little chicks like chickens. That's
which makes the joke even weirder because is it implied he masturbates to chickens?
No, it's not. It's
what?
It's kind of like a play on word. It's like a word play type thing.
Nick, what did you just say, huh?
if there was lotion and if there were lotion and napkins under his bed along with a magazine with chicks on it, and the chicks were actual like baby chicks, So does that imply he
Oh my
masturbates?
God,
to chicken?
shut up. Yes.
Knowing Ed,
Technically, knowing
maybe.
Ed. I mean, he's attracted to gravy and butter toast, so.
You're the reason.
That's true.
You're the reason the
Yeah.
adpocalypse is happening on YouTube. What
Right.
let you know that? One of my favorite episodes of Ed, Edd N Eddy is definitely the episode where Double D is just beating everybody's ass.
Oh, I remember
That
that.
episode was a classic,
Fistful
bro.
of Ed. That's like that was a modern episode too. That was like a season 4 episode. That was like during like the 2008-9 era. That was a really good episode though. That's another thing that I like about Ed, Edd N Eddy.
It's great.
Like a lot of shows, as they go on, they don't usually get better. Like let's say this: Chowder had 2 seasons. Flapjack had 2 seasons.
Chowder only had
Those
2
shows were
seasons?
Yeah, Chowder.
Really?
Well,
Really?
Chowder had
It's
2
weird,
seasons
like
only.
y'all remember all this stuff. For me, when I was a kid, just watching these shows, I wasn't paying attention to like seasons or anything. I was just watching them.
I wasn't.
Same thing with
but,
music for me. I was just listening to music. Like you guys, woman calls Caleb. You know, Caleb and Nick are big audiophiles. They'll ask me like, I'll say I love a certain rapper, and like they'll be like, what's your favorite
trash.
song? Well, they'll be like, what's your favorite song from him? It's like, I don't know the name of the song, because as a kid, I never gave a second thought about like actually looking up the name or looking at this season number or something like that for TV show. I just kind of watched and listened type of thing.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, of course, it's one of the most important things to me. But that's just how
Right.
it was. I don't know. Tell me if you guys were like that.
I mean, I was definitely as a kid. You know, like watching certain cartoons, you never thought about who was behind it or what went behind it. You just saw, pretty colors and
My bad.
animation that
There's
was
3
appealing.
seasons of Chowder.
3 seasons.
Okay, that makes more
3
sense.
seasons of Chowder.
How
That
long?
makes
How
more
many
sense.
episodes do they have?
They had, from what I can see,
They had a lot of episodes. I know that.
49. They had
40.
49 episodes.
They only had 40. Wow.
Only 49.
My mind's kind of blown right now because like I remember watching that show so much. Maybe I was watching the same episodes. So
Yeah, like,
more than
we watch
likely
shows-
reruns.
Yeah, when we watched shows when we were younger, you
I
know,
do remember watching
they
that-
seem better than they are.
I do remember watching that one episode with like where Mung Dal was just carrying a giant like spoon around, and like I was like, what?
Dude, my favorite episode of Chowder, real quick, was when when he had to be stuck with that like cat balloon. No.
Oh,
That cat
yes.
balloon, like the guy
Oh.
balloon, and he had to go around like having him eat stuff, and Chowder couldn't eat nothing. That episode, every time it ran, I asked my parents that night, "Can we have tacos?" No joke. Every time we did, every single
Dang.
time. So did
That's
Ed, Edd N
wild.
Eddy. Ed, Edd N Eddy actually made me want to eat tacos all the time.
And
They
I
made
made me want
tacos out
to
of
eat
paper plates.
jawbreakers, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Honestly, I actually had a jawbreaker from Ed, Edd N Eddy, and it's like, you know, Ed, Edd N Eddy made me want to get a jawbreaker. They suck.
No, they're bad.
They're not that good. They're not that
They
great.
made them look so appetizing, and then you get like a big jawbreaker. I'm like, yes! And it takes you like 2 months to eat the thing.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't taste like anything.
It's just sugar, and you're like, this is what they're going after so much?
What's wrong with you?
I mean,
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
love
You ever heard of a
sugar
chocolate
and all
bar?
that.
Yo, Cameron,
was, like,
tell us
8.
one of your
I
Ed,
didn't
Edd
like
N
that
Eddy
shit.
memories. I'm curious.
Go.
One of your memories growing up with the show. Yeah.
So when I was younger, around like elementary school or whatever, like whenever I got home, well, not really home, at my grandmother's house, like I would always just do my homework watching Ed, Edd N Eddy and all that. I think it showed at like 3 p.m. and 3:30. I'm not entirely sure if that's a long time ago, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to actually find that. But I would always be able to go back and watch that while doing my homework and all that, and other Cartoon Network and other cartoons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly though, I do want to wrap this video up because I don't want to keep you guys on for too long. Did anyone have anything else to say about it and any of their memories with it, like how great the show is?
I have one more. Do you guys remember the did they make one Ed, Edd N Eddy game? Was it just one?
The
PS2
I
game.
almost forgot about
Yeah.
that. The Midnight Adventures. Yeah,
They made
That's
a
what I
PS
remember more than the show, to be honest.
They
That's
made
what I
a
grew up with more than the
PS2
show.
game?
Yeah, there was a PlayStation 2 game for Ed, Edd N Eddy.
Yeah, PS2, GameCube. I think there was a Game Boy Advance game
I
as well.
never knew that.
Yeah, I grew up on that game. That's the thing about Ed, Edd N Eddy I
Like, it
remember. I
was-
remember the game more than the show. Like I remember going to like a friend's house and playing it.
It was an adventure game where you had to like build scams. Like you had missions you had to build scams, and you had to control all Eds.
Yeah,
because like only like I think it was like Double D was only able to build certain things. Ed was only able to like tear shit down easily, like tear down like big massive things.
The Misadventures. Yeah, that's what it's called.
That.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it wasn't that bad.
I didn't play it.
From what I remember, it wasn't that bad of a game.
Yeah, it was a fun game, dude. And there's a lot of collectibles in it too, so
there's multiple.
You'll actually be spending a lot of time on that game if you actually want to.
Maybe I'll stream that game one of these days. I don't know.
I'm considering it now. Actually,
it actually aged pretty bad.
I'll try it.
I can imagine it aging.
I can imagine, yeah. But yeah, though, today was the 19th anniversary of Ed, Edd N Eddy, or whenever you're watching this video, maybe the 19th anniversary was yesterday.
January 4th.
Yeah, and today is January 4th. Yeah.
Okay, so it's either today or tomorrow. Or
I'm definitely gonna make a video next year when the 20th anniversary comes on. I really hope Cartoon Network does something, because from what Caleb told me, Cartoon Network has not done anything for its 19th anniversary, given it is an odd number, but still,
Caleb told you that.
You should do something like
that.
What?
And Cartoon Network, they had a I think they had, it was like a official Teen Titans anniversary. I forgot what cartoon it was, but it was like an old school cartoon. And instead of celebrating that anniversary, they just had a Teen Titans Go marathon and didn't mention it at all. They're
probably gonna do that again for Ed, Edd N Eddy. It's like, wow, this show is one of like the great, like one of the shows that like that kickstarted our network. Cool, let's air some Teen Titans Go, because that's what our audience wants.
I'm just hoping that maybe like next year for Cartoon Network, if not that they air Ed, Edd N Eddy, and this is going far on a limb right here. I don't expect them to do this, but it would restore my faith in the Cartoon Network if they did. If they had like a retro week or something, you know,
that'd be awesome.
Powerpuff Girls, Chowder, Flapjack, like the old shows that like got it popular. Like Cartoon Network is popular.
Cow and Chicken.
Just a retro week of like the month or something like that. That could actually work out well.
Week or month. I'd take either one.
Well, like how they did with Cartoon Planet on like for like a while before it got canceled. Like every Friday night was like Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken.
Dude, I love Dexter's Lab so much.
I Am Weasel. I didn't like I Am Weasel, but it was still.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
I Am Weasel. It was like a spin-off.
Oh, this show.
Cow and Chicken.
Oh, huh.
By the same guy.
So, oh yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for, but I would at least be happy if they show the big picture show next year.
Yeah.
At least show the big picture show on Cartoon Network.
That'd be good, but Cartoon Network doesn't like taking risks, though. They want to stay safe.
Not anymore with the new guy, but
they definitely don't talk about like anniversaries or anything like that anymore.
A couple of gems have definitely come out over the past few years, though, like Adventure Time show, Steven Universe.
Okay, good shows, I think, is a better term for Caleb freaking out like that, but
there's some solid gems there.
I want to watch more OKKO. I remember Nick and Caleb watched like 2-3 episodes of it, and it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, everyone's freaking out.
They're coming out with a game too soon, aren't they? Or if there isn't one already out.
Over one of the girls' moms. Apparently Enid, the main girl character in the show, her mom's a thickie. And everyone on Twitter was like,
a very
thickie. I've never heard anyone.
No, dude.
Sticky.
Most of the characters are thickies in that show, honestly. Like,
okay. Anyways, though, we're rambling on quite a bit.
Different topic for a different video.
Yeah,
thickies.
A different podcast. Anyways, though, thank you guys for watching today's episode of Homeworld Plus. I'll probably think of a better name one of these days, because that name's really bad and I need to change it, but that's the name for now. Think of a name for me. Shut your mouth. Don't ever say that to me again. Anyways, thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button. It will greatly support the video. Also, share this video out with your friends, as it greatly supports the channel. It brings more people to my content, and this helps me grow in general. And last but not least, do not forget to hit that subscribe button on the channel and the bell icon, so you'll never miss another video again, so you can become a prodigy of light. Thank you guys for watching. Check out everyone's channel in the description below. They all make very great content, and well, Nick makes music, but they all still make great content regardless. Thank you guys for watching once again for the 5th time. My name is Prodigy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.